This is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a safe celebration, saying goodbye to the old and hello to the new. And that's a perfect way to start our first program of 2017 by saying hello to the new chief of the Houston Fire Department, Chief Samuel Pena, who comes to Houston from the top job in El Paso. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So a new place. You've been into El Paso for a number of years. Now you're here. How is the transition going?
Transition is it's going well. It's going well. You know, it's clear across the state. You know, some of my family members are still back in El Paso, buttoning up some issues, and then they'll be joining me here within the next month or so. What
kind of stuff do you do? When you come from a department like El Paso and you come to a big department like Houston, what kinds of things do you want to do to get settled in how you want to manage this department?
My focus right now is really to sit and talk to staff, talk to the firefighters that are actually going out and hitting the streets and doing the job, and getting their perspective. You know, what I didn't want to do is come in here thinking that I had the answers to a problem that I may not fully understand. So the focus is really to get a good sense of what the issues are from the perspective of the firefighters and administration, and then work on a plan to try to correct those and get us back on track if needed.
How different are the departments other than size? So the firefighting fraternity is a unique one in that you're all in there. You have certain things that are similar, I would guess.
Well, I can tell you that industry-wide, and I found that out you know, traveling to different departments for assessments or whatever the case may be, is that industry-wide firefighters do an excellent job. They're committed to their job. They're professional in every sense of the word. Certainly the difference from El Paso to Houston is in the sheer size, but a lot of the items or the issues that are facing Houston are not unique to Houston. The scale of it is totally different. You know, it's almost four times the size of El Paso. But there's issues. You know, every municipality, every fire department has issues with aging fleets. You know, the facilities, getting the you know, the right resources to the right locations, and so on and so forth. Response time. So those are similar to what we have here in Houston.
I'm guessing politics is going to be all a part of it. You have to deal with working your way through the politics of what goes on to get it done. Is that going to be a difficult dance for you, or is that something that you're pretty good at?
Well, learning the political landscape is going to take me a little bit of time. But you know, my approach to this is going to be honest dialogue, and as far as what the needs of the fire department are, and getting a sense of what the elected officials in the community is expecting from its fire department, and then you know, letting them know what it's going to take to get that.
Good thing about you is that your bio precedes you, which is easy to people to see, and I noticed criminal justice degree,
yes, sir,
MBA, air traffic specialist in the Air Force. There's a lot of things you've done prior to firefighting. How did you come to be a firefighter? What was it that grabbed you about this field that you've embraced for so long? You
know, I wish I could tell you it was this great story, but actually when I left the Air Force, I was looking for a job back in El Paso, and I applied everywhere. You know, I thought I wanted to be a police officer at one point, so I applied to all the law enforcement agencies and the fire department, and the fire department was the first one to call. So, you know, with two kids and a wife, I took the opportunity, and 23 years later, you know, it's worked out pretty good.
And something has worked out well, obviously, for you to move up and do things to get to that point. What is it about you, your style, that has helped you be successful? And I'll ask you the same thing I asked the new police chief, Acevedo, last week. What's going to be the difference in 5 years as we look back on what's going on in the Houston Fire Department? How is it going to be different, and what impact will you have made in that, do you think?
Right. I think my approach has always been, you know, never to pass up a challenge, and if I'm accepting a certain position, a certain challenge, is try to do it the best to my ability. Always looking after the people that are looking to me for direction, and so on and so forth. Looking after the health and safety of the firefighters and the community that we serve is paramount. That's my primary job, and it's going to be the same focus here. We're going to work on, you know, efficiencies as far as response times. We're going to work on recruitment. You know. My hope is to get the number of female firefighters on the Houston Fire Department up a little bit. Right now, I think we're around 3.5% of the force is female. You know, my focus is going to be to increase that, and and make this a more efficient service.
I noticed that last week or so there were 123 police officers who decided they were going to retire. A lot of it had to do with pension issues. Are you concerned about a similar kind of situation in the Houston Fire Department, of people saying, okay, I'm not sure about the pension issue is going to be, but I don't want to have anything to do with that, and I'm going to get out?
Yeah, the pension issue, I believe, is going to get resolved. I know Mayor Turner, this is one of his primary focuses. I think he's been doing an excellent job of marshaling this issue through, and it'll be resolved. Now we're all working towards the same thing, pension and retirement. And if people are ready to go, that's an excellent thing. If that's their decision, and we will survive. The system will survive. There may be a time where we may be short in staffing and stuff, but those are issues that we would normally have to deal with anyways.
Once upon a time, you were a guy walking around putting your application out wherever it would be, and you ended up with the fire department. What would you tell someone who's sitting there watching, saying, I don't know what I want to do? What's the attraction to be a member of the Houston Fire Department?
Oh my God, it's the Houston Fire Department is a premier fire department in the country, and when I took on the challenge to go and compete for this position, I knew that. But just in the research that I was doing in preparation, everything was confirmed. We got the most dedicated firefighters, I believe, in the country. They do an excellent job, and I'm proud to be a part of this organization at this point.
Well, I'm glad to have you here in this first program of 2017. Congratulations on the new job. Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is one of these times where you get to introduce everybody to you. There are going to be times we're going to come on, we're going to talk about tough issues.
Right.
I look forward to having you then as well.
Sir.
Hope you'll accept the invitation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chief, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.